Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 15. So far for today, I'm going to be looking at the music for, well, both of these are from story 1, but the music from the fire stage, which is also called stage 2, and also from the gas station boss of story 1. I'm going to look at both of them just one at a time and just analyze it and just see what up with that and everything. But with this, just starting off with this one, it's the fire stage. Well, I'll just say it after I play it. Just go ahead and play it now. Okay, so what I was going to say is, with this theme here, I hate it. Like, just completely, I really do hate this theme. Because I made this, again, it was story 1, no idea what I was doing, and it was, early and everything. And, I just genuinely going back, hearing it, and even back then, when I was, working on story 2 and heard this, I just really hated this theme. Now, I know it's my game, I go back and change it and stuff, but I really don't want to, because so far from story 2 and onward, I've used this song as an example to myself to be like, okay, I never want this, quality ever again. Make sure I just do better. So that's really the reason why I've kept this the way it is, kept it in the game, so I can always just, when I'm playing the early stuff ever again, just looking back, I can remember, oh yeah, this song was terrible. This is the reason why I wanted to make better stuff, and I don't ever want to make something like this ever again. So basically just looking at it and everything too, with this, I actually kind of started off a bit with the I say melody and bass. Really, both of these are kind of the bass itself, sort of. Really, the yellow one, I'm pretty sure, is just, yeah, because, the yellow one's basically just a triangle wave, so that's a part of the bass. This is kind of the the way I do myself is weird, because sometimes I treat the bass as the melody, and sometimes the melody as the bass. I legit have no idea. I'm probably just using those terms interchangeably, but so far with this, thought process and stuff too, making this one was, I wanted to, since the whole city's on fire, I wanted to kind of sound like an alarm or something like that too, basically an alarm or something's going wrong. And again, I say I got that pretty good with the melody just starting off with sounding like, this. Again, does sound like an alarm and everything and stuff, but I just really do hate how it sounds, because especially this is the perfect prime example of my melodies just coming in afterwards, because this is just really nonsensical. It's not good. I just put notes down just to be okay, just put something. I definitely probably had a thought process to it for why, but going back, it just sounds bad. Just if I just turn this off and just hear this first part of melody on its own, just again, to me, it just still doesn't sound good, even with the thing to it. Just Like, it still just really does not sound good. That's why I really hate that it just make my melodies just last without really thinking about it. Like, I feel like, well, I can't say I improved because in reality I still do this, where I'll make the bass, but at least I tried putting more thought into the melody a bit. But definitely in this old one, I really did not. Plus, another thing I really just noticed, and I hate that I keep doing this too, is that like the drums, it's just all the same thing. Like, I don't switch it up or anything. Just like literally for the drums, just the same thing, just all the way through. And I just like really hate that I just like don't ever switch that up too much. The basses and melodies, I just kind of keep the same, because like this up here, I just kind of have like nothing else there except I have this. But yeah, just overall, this really does not sound too good. So I just really use this as an example of what not to do, and I just use this to help me just improve and get better. So this absolutely, as a song, don't like it, but as a lesson to myself and a reminder, it's perfect. So far for this one, this is the boss music for the gas station. And so far for this one, well, I'll probably get my opinions about it afterwards. I'll just go ahead and play it right now. Yeah, so with this one, so far with this one, I didn't use a triangle wave for this one because in beatbox and everything, the FM bass, that's basically good enough to work as a triangle wave and as a bass and everything. Because I've tried putting a triangle wave to the FM bass, and the only way to hear it is you have to up the triangle wave like high enough to be kind of heard, and it just makes like a really high pitched noise if you make it that high, so it doesn't really sound too good. But with this FM bass on its own, like, I do like the sound of it because I use the FM bass again in another song just as a thing on its own. Like, again, I still do note that I'm like making a bass first, then I just kind of throw a melody and stuff in there. But at least with this one, I at least do switch up the drums and everything. Like, I at least use a variety and stuff of that at the very least. The bass, I use it like the whole time through it and everything, unless like during this one part which I kind of want to sound like a bit different. So just something like that. But majority, because 100% I really do like the sound of the FM bass. That's why it just sounds really good just hearing it like this. Like, I just really do like using the instrument and just how it sounds in this. But another thing I do just note is that, again, the melody is just looking at this was kind of just an afterthought, just like putting stuff together just to make it sound good. So yeah, like just still early on, so I'll just throwing stuff together. Like, just still, but it at least doesn't sound too bad. Because especially when you're playing this stage, which I had like maybe I think I had like one person test it, my friend and stuff play it. So far, this stage will be mostly remembered just by difficulty, probably not the music. But at least the music does go along with it pretty well. Like, it's not something really terrible where, you just hear it and be like, oh, I'm tired of hearing this. It works perfectly fine. But I'm trying to remember, 'cause I think this part here, I kind of added in later to just extend it. And like I said, it sounds okay with it, but I know it's really not perfect. Just. Like, just, it sounds really just like crunchy and everything. But so for really what the game I kind of wanted to make, it goes with it perfectly. Because I kind of want like an Atari kind of style game. Like, technically, which is weird for me to say, I put too much like detail in it for it to kind of still be considered Atari, but I still say like it's close enough still with that. So I'd at least say the music does fit at least to a degree for that. But at the very least, I do appreciate just like when I did, just like switching it up and everything. Because I know my thought process with making this specifically was, again, I just needed to make like a boss theme. So I needed something to kind of sound like a bit more intense. Had no idea how to do that. And from there, just kind of like working with it, figured out, oh yeah, it's the bass. Just make a bass that sounds like it can be like intense enough. So like a low sounding bass. Drums maybe going like slow to set the tone for it, so you can tell like, okay, something intense is happening. Just, yeah, like it sounds like something more intense is happening, sort of, instead of it just kind of sounding more like lighthearted and everything. But yeah, with this and all that, I can kind of see what I did and everything for that too. I know, especially when I get to story 2, I'll be seeing like the major differences and changes in it, but a lot of them in 1 will kind of be like very similar. But yeah, just looking at this, the main thing I can get out of it, just that same thing, start a bass, set the tone, early boss theme and everything like that. I still made the melody as kind of like a afterthought, which I really hate that I keep doing, but yeah, like I said, again, as I go forward, I'll see I at least maybe learn something. So to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one. Yeah, so far, it's not the end of the other thing. I forgot, or not really forgot, but by the time I ended up like looking at some of my other stuff, I found that apparently I do have updated versions of the fire stage theme and the gas station boss. Basically, it's not too different from the other ones. It's just, I just added a triangle wave to it, and that's really it. So I'm just gonna like run through that real quick, just listening to them, and just tag this on to the end of the other one. But just, yeah, most of myself, I'm sorry I have to hear this again, but just go ahead and play. This is the fire theme, just with the triangle wave added onto it. Yeah, so that was the updated fire theme. Basically, the only thing I got from this is just that really adding the triangle wave at least felt like it filled in some of the silence like a little bit. That just, again, it might just be in my head, but it just felt like it still filled that in. But the only thing is, I also picked up just the fact that like the way I end a lot of these songs and stuff too, I legit just have no idea what to do, or I had no idea what to do. So basically, like with my melodies, where I just make something, I basically did the same thing for this. So yeah, that's another thing. I'm just kind of like a bit just kind of like ashamed of myself for doing, but that was the old one and everything. Like that was just like me just getting started and all that. So actually no, I made this during story 2, which basically just again added the triangle wave onto it. I didn't like edit the whole song. I might have just messed around with the triangle wave and just messed around with the panning. Let me see. Yeah, because it's also where I discovered just like using panning and everything for left and right ear. Probably a mistake that I discovered that, but it's still a thing I discovered. And yeah, maybe I just messed with the volume of them a little bit as well. But a lot is just done during story 2, because once I figured out, oh yeah, adding a triangle wave can change the sound a bit and kind of get rid of that so-called silence that I keep saying is there. I just kind of went back, added it, and just did it for a lot of them. So that's why took me a second to find, because it was like further down on the list I have. But so far, I'll go ahead and look at the gas station boss, the updated one. That same thing, just added a triangle wave. So just listen to that real quick. Yeah, so that was the updated version of the gas station theme. Basically, just from this one, the main thing I just got from it is, again, I probably just adjusted like volumes and everything like that from like the original to the updated one, so something wasn't like overpowering the other. But the other thing I noticed is, like I said with this, is that the triangle wave, when used with the FM bass, like I have to up the pitch of the triangle wave and everything and stuff like that to make it be able to be heard. And the problem with that is it ends up making like a really high pitched, like kind of squeaking noise, which you can definitely hear if you just like, if I point attention to it, just yeah, just that like extra. Let me see actually if I can do that. Yeah, it's like just straight up that, just that high. It just sounds high pitched. Yeah, so really with that, it doesn't like add a ton to it, because if I just get rid of it and just play it with the normal FM bass, yeah, just it, like I said, it's kind of up in the air if it sounds better without it or with it. But basically, I ended up just like after updating it, I just kind of like added it to the game, just updated the music, just like put it in the game. So either way, it's there. So at least use those as just like ideas for stuff. But yeah, this one should actually be the end of the video. So see y'all in the next one.